Hello, I'm Ceoga Kim. I'm wearing my Hamilton khaki mechanical today. This is my first Swiss-made hand-winding watch. I still remember how excited I was when I first purchased this watch many years ago. I'm very pleased to introduce the man behind this amazing watch, CEO of Hamilton Watch, Mr. 슈타우퍼.
Hello, hi, nice to meet you.
And nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to be here in Korea with you today.
Welcome to Korea.
Thank you.
Hamilton watches are widely recommended to beginners, but at the same time, it is also popular among more serious watch collectors who own multiple luxury watches. Every watch collector I know seems to have at least one Hamilton watch in their collection. So what can explain this unusual success?
I think it's a very good point. So yes, for many people, we are the first Swiss-made watch, like for you. But it's true that there is a lot of collectors or watch enthusiasts that are keen to look at our product. And I think the success is really the efforts that is made behind the production of the product, behind the evolution, the research around the product. And the story should not start with the product. The story should create the product. And that's what we try to do at Hamilton. And we have the chance. So it's not me behind the brand. It's the whole team behind the brand. And that's the chance that we have at Hamilton, is to have such a rich history. And that's with this rich history, it creates all this spirit, this mindset that we can try to create these watches. And I think that's why it talks to the collectors and as well to the newcomers. For the newcomers, it's also because we are doing the best efforts to bring this product at a quite competitive price. I'm not saying affordable, it's a competitive price, because putting 1 million Korean won or 2 million Korean won is already quite an investment for many people. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's a very competitive price with the quality of the product that we develop.
Mm-hmm. And I think Hamilton watches are really good at storytelling, which is very rare quality in this price range too. And we should delve into why Hamilton watches are so good at storytelling. I also think it has something to do with its a bit strange history. So Hamilton used to be an ultimate American watch brand, but it is now located in Biel, a bilingual Swiss town speaking both German and French. How come?
So it's a bilingual city. There is not a lot of bilingual city in Switzerland, but Biel is the reference as a bilingual city. So that's why we say Biel-Bien. So the city is called Biel-Bien because we say it in German and in French. So yes, we were born in the US in 1892. Then it has been bought by the former Swatch Group in 1974, and then it was moved to Switzerland in about 2002. And it's quite interesting to have this American spirit or origin, but being produced or located in Switzerland. And I think that's also what differentiates us. We know that this American spirit is often an added value or a lot of disruptive things. When we talk about phone, when we talk about car, when we talk about many things, it often comes from Korea as well. But US is often at the beginning of these things. And Hamilton had the chance to be at the beginning of a lot of new extraordinary development in the past, and being in Biel or Bien is something as well that continue a little bit, I would say, to keep this environment for the brand.
Do you think this multinational or multilingual background have some kind of impact on today's Hamilton watches?
Yes, it does. So we are a little bit more than 60 people working at Hamilton headquarters. I don't even know how many different nationalities we do have.
Which language do you speak at the office?
So at the office, we speak French or English. It depends. People knows all the languages, but we are nearby the border of France, so there is a lot of people living in Switzerland, but originally from France, and they not always learn German. So, but they speak English at headquarters. So we speak mainly French and English, but I would say a rough estimate would be out of the 60 people, I think we are able to speak about more than 10 languages.
Wow.
So that's interesting. There is no one speaking Korean at the office. So that's something we should hire one. I know that we have Thai, we have Laotian, we have Vietnamese, we have Japanese, but we still don't have a Korean speaking employee.
Why is it so?
I think we are still not big enough, and once we're going to be 100 people in a headquarters, I'm pretty sure we're going to have someone speaking Korean as well. We are distributed in 75 countries. We cannot cover all the language for the time being.
Okay, if you are interested in working at Hamilton HQ, you still have a chance.
Okay. Contact us on hamiltonwatch.com.
If you have to pick just one watch, what would be the key collection of Hamilton that defines the identity of Hamilton?
So we have 6 collections at Hamilton. It's really a tough question because you are asking me which of my child I prefer toward the others. So it's really difficult question. We put spirit and emotion in every of our collections. So to choose one, I will go the other way around. I will take out one after the others, I would say. So I think I will first remove the Jazzmaster, which is a little bit sad because that's our youngest collection. So to start to take out the youngest child is difficult. Then maybe khaki navy and khaki aviation. Our friend pilots will not really support that idea. Then American spirit, it's difficult because we have the PSR, we have the Intramatic. There were milestones in the watch industry. But I would start to remove these 4 collection, and then I will remain with the khaki field. Mm-hmm. You know the khaki field, 1 million watches produced for the American Army during the Second World War, so that's the DNA of the brand. And there is also the Ventura, totally disruptive product. If I had to choose between the two, it's like the penalty shot at the World Cup. Quite a tough one, but I think the winner would be the Ventura. I think the Ventura has such a strong spirit and icon for Hamilton that I would take the Ventura.
Yeah, it was first electric-powered watch, world first electric-powered watch, even before Quartz Revolution.
Yes, it was earlier. It was 1957. So it is a revolutionary product at that time, and Hamilton put it on the table. It was a disruptive, because we like the word disruptive nowadays. Everybody is disruptive. So it was a disruptive product in 1957.
Even the design was
design was designed by a gentleman called Richard Arbib, who was a designer for the car industry. So that's why you know this old American car with this nice shape.
Wow.
So he was a designer of industrial cars, and then the mandate was given to him to create a new watch, and he came with this triangular watch, which was really something new in the watch industry. And on top of it, it was powered by a battery. So that was really something really new. So it didn't become the standard, but I think it launched a new standard as well in the watchmaking.
Mm-hmm. So you are very proud of Ventura, right?
We are really proud, and I think I often say that it's the iconic product of Hamilton.
Next question is about Hamilton's relationship with Hollywood. In most cases, many watch brands pay lots of money to film production companies in order to make some kind of appearance on film and promote their watches. But I heard that Hamilton's relationship with Hollywood is very different from this. You are even building a new watch only for film. I think it is a bit, it doesn't make sense. You are a company, have to make some kind of profit, but build a new watch only for
Yes. So it all started over 90 years ago. The first watch we found in a movie was Shanghai Express, 1932, with Marlene Dietrich. So it's a story that today we are capitalizing, I would say, from almost 100 years of relationship with the world of Hollywood. Maybe it's even more than 100 years. Maybe there is watches in previous movie but we didn't discover yet. So we have this relationship with the Hollywood studio, especially in the US, which is quite interesting. So we have 3 ways of working with this studio. The first one is to put a watch from the normal collection. So they have at their disposal a full collection of Hamilton, a product that might be for military use, a product that might be interesting for design-wise or futuristic with the Ventura. So we have this offer on our portfolio. The second way we work with Hollywood is to provide them historical pieces. Sometimes they do watches, they do a movie from the 50s, from the 30s, from the 20s, but they don't have the watches. And we do have the watches. So we dig in our archive, we take them out from our museum. Even sometimes we purchase watches to collectors in order to lend them to the studio in order that it fit with the environment. And the last way we work with them, as you were saying, is to develop a special watch for the movie. We call it a prop watch. So we are in contact with this prop master, and they come to us and they say, okay, I want a specific watch. The first one was 2001, A Space Odyssey, Stanley Kubrick. And then we did one with Christopher Nolan for Interstellar. We did one for Tenet. And it's not a question of money. It's a question of creating something. And every time they come to us and ask us for a special product, it challenged our mind, it challenged our way of working. It pulled the people from the product department outside of their comfort zone, and they have to come with something that is outstanding. And by producing this, by reaching this goal, we don't always succeed, and sometimes we cannot find a way. But if we can find a way, then we learn something, and then we are also sure that we're going to see on the movie, because the movie studio is so proud to have something specifically made for them that they will also create the story around this product. And that's why it's not a question of money, it's a question of visibility and partnership.
Who are qualified to request new watches for Hamilton?
You wanna make a movie and you wanna ask us for a special watch? Anyone is qualified. We don't have minimum assets. We don't have anything special. As long as we can do it, technically speaking, according with the time they give us, because sometimes they are a little bit underestimating the time needed to create such a product. But everyone is more than welcome to contact us in case they have ideas. We cannot do everything, but we do our best efforts to support this creative world.
They should have some kind of good script and good.
Yeah, but sometimes we produce prop watches. If I tell you the Tenet one, the Tenet from Christopher Nolan, we spent almost 2 years to develop these specific prop watches. We discovered the use of the watch at the premiere. We never ever received any information about the script, what the use of the watch. We just developed what they were asking us to do, and we discovered it at the premiere. It was really, really interesting. So sometimes we don't even know what they're going to do with our product.
But you believe in the name of Christopher?
We believe in the name. We discuss with these people. They understand that, of course, they don't have to do something bad with the product that we develop. But on the other side, we don't want to have any impact on the creativity. So we don't want to impose something to their creativity, and that's why we let them do the best use of our product.
I love that sense.
But that's how it works. Yeah. That's exactly, and that's also why they come to us, because they know that we're not going to be demanding. They know that we're not going to ask for a 2-second wrist shot or whatever. So it's really a collaboration.
Murph was also a watch exclusively developed for a film, right?
The 42mm was the brief from Mr. Christopher Nolan. So he asked us to create we are in the movie industry, to create a Frankenstein for us as a Hamilton. When you take the case of a collection, you put a dial from another collection, hands from another family, and then a strap from another collection. It's creating a Frankenstein. So on the paper, we would have never done it. Our product department wouldn't have developed this watch because it's outside of the limits that we set for the collection. But we did it as a prop watch, and then we got the pressure from the
customers,
from the customer and the highly dedicated audience we have to Hamilton.
Yeah, although it was a Frankenstein, it looked really good on the screen.
It looked really good on the screen, and the story behind the product.
It played an important role.
It played a role. So it created a story for this specific watch, which is quite beautiful.
How many years after the launch of film?
So we released the Murph 42mm in I remember it clearly. It was in March 2019. The movie was launched in 2014, and the 42mm was released for the public in 2019. So
the 38mm is almost 10 years later.
8 years later. Yeah, 2022.
Yeah,
2022.
if I can exaggerate.
Almost 10 years.
Everyone is now talking about this smaller version of Murph watch. Did you expect this success?
Yes, we were expecting it because we have a very close relationship with our audience, with the collectors, with the Hamilton fan. And from day one, when we released the 42mm, everyone was saying, okay, make it smaller, you have my money. Why make it in 38? It's too large. It's the lug to lug is too long. But that's the watch we had. That was the choice of Mr. Christopher Nolan. So we were feeling this tension and this request from the customer. So then at some point we say, okay, now we have to listen to our audience. We have to listen to our customer. They want to have this watch. So we're gonna make it for them.
Wow. So that's the motivation behind it.
That's the only motivation behind it.
Okay.
So it was not something that was planned 8 years ago to make a 38, and then in 5 years we come with a 36. So if you want a 36, you have to challenge us online, and maybe you're gonna see once a 36.
If I explore watch community in English or in Korean, then the downside requests are most common around Hamilton watches. So downsize this and downsize that. So are we going to see more downsized versions of Hamilton watches?
We see that there is a trend towards smaller watches, but we still make quite big watches at Hamilton. So it's not something. So we do not have an approach to say, okay, every big watches need to have a smaller size. Whenever we do a smaller size, we have to rework it. This one was reworked. We changed the lug, so the proportion of the watch has been changed. The second hand is a little bit shorter. You have to adapt all the elements of the watches when you want to make it smaller. So for example, if you want to take the X-Wing, it's a pilot watch. You have a huge scale on the outside of on the bezel. You have 3 turning fringe with numbers. If you make it smaller, then either you have very, very good eyes, or we have to deliver it with a magnifying glass. So that's something that, technically speaking, we cannot make a smaller X-Wing. But yes, if you take the Frogman 46mm that we launched last year, we could make it in 41, but it still need to have this strong. I'm wearing it today, by the way. So it's that the watch of the Navy SEALs. The Navy SEALs, I mean, they had big watches, easy to read, and it has to give this feeling as well on the new Frogman. So yes, we might produce a smaller one as long as we keep this spirit and this effect on the watch. So it's not a general trend that everything's gonna become in smaller size.
Hamilton watches have been favored by the creative mind of the director Christopher Nolan. We all know that his next film will be released this summer. So
yes.
Will there be Oppenheimer Hamilton watch featured on the film?
So, as you say, we have a quite close relationship with Mr. Christopher Nolan. We are not in all these movies, but for Oppenheimer, yet they contacted us last year asking for product. But of course, Christopher Nolan is someone who is really picky and he really works on every single detail. So we're not going to create a new watch for a movie that is happening 60 or 70 years ago. It wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't make sense. So as I explained you, sometimes we provide them with watches from a museum. And yes, we did. For Oppenheimer, we gave to the team, we lent to the team some watches from the 20s, 30s, and 40s. So before the shooting, so they shot already, or they are shooting the movie. We don't know if we're gonna see watches on the wrist. We don't know if we're gonna see any close-up. We don't want to have an impact on the creativity. Maybe they ask as well other brands, but we might see some Hamilton on the wrist of this. But I'm gonna see it as like you at the premiere if I have the chance to attend.
Okay, great. I'm very excited about this film as a watch fan because Oppenheimer is based on a real story. It means characters will wear more realistic watches based on the Hamilton's archive. Hamilton's archive are full of really beautifully designed watches. So
yeah.
I'm really excited about this.
We do not have enough of historical pieces because Hamilton moved too many times from one country, I mean from US, from Lancaster to New Jersey and then to Switzerland, and we lost a lot of historical pieces. But there is very, very qualitative museum in the US as well, or collectors where we have a close relationship. So whenever we don't have a product that could fit, we have the contact to be able to get either to buy the watch to our collectors or to find an alternative to be able to lend the watch for this movie.
Excited.
Me too.